What up, traders? What up, investors? Ken here from the Dyslexic Investor, and we're going to be looking at one particular stock today. We're going to be looking at the overall oil market, and then looking at NAT, Nordic American tankers. And I'm pretty sure everyone in the world has probably seen this video here. I'm going to show you a quick, like 7 seconds.
Oh, but you can have it. We are making a lot of money at this time, improving our...
So that is actually, I'm going to put the link down below. So that is the CEO of the Nordic American tankers, basically on Mad Money, saying he has never seen anything like this. They are making hand over fist. Oil companies are paying $60,000 to $70,000 a day. Their operating cost is only $8,000, and all that excess money is going to be going to the dividend. As you can see here, that the dividend has been increased to nearly double, 14 cents a share, and that's just basically around the corner here on the 21st of May. But that being said, I'm looking to short this. I'll be straight up with you guys. I am kind of a contrarian, and I think that oil will rebound in the next 2 or 3 months. And that this will be going back down to $1 or $2 or $3. Like, I don't see this propping up for a long extended period of time. And the reason behind that is not just is what I'm looking at is in the charts and what I sense in the overall trend of what could happen here. Again, this is not, I don't have a crystal ball. No one does. We're going to be looking at what my game plan is. I'm currently not short. I'm looking to get into this position to buy some puts on NAT. And that's probably not a very popular thing right now, because a lot of people, you can see here just on the weekly volume up here, we're up astronomical numbers. What are we at here? We are at 100 million shares traded just today when it popped up to $9. Okay, that has nothing before seen. So that being said, I'm not looking to short this quite yet. So here, looking on the daily chart, this is the different deviations of the deviations from 1, 2, and 3. Red being 3, pink or purple being 2, and green being 1. And then the yellow line being my 21 exponential moving average. So what I'm thinking here is, and looking for, is seeing a huge pop like we saw in basically, this would be September of last year. They had a huge pop up, kind of settled off basically from $2 to nearly a little over $4 here, and then kind of came back down once the 21 kind of caught up. It didn't come crashing down. That is very true, but it kind of traded sideways and then had a huge pop up and then came crashing down. So I'm not saying that this is going to crash overnight. I don't think the company's got to go out of bankruptcy. I'm just saying that there's just so much momentum right now, and I'm trying to short the momentum and, the lack of the better words, the people who are going long NAT just because their friend told them to go long, and that oil's going to $5 a barrel or whatever, and that NAT is going to be the only person or game in town to be able to supply a storage on their tankers or whatever. I don't believe that. This seems just too outlandish to be betting that much, and that the stock jump up basically from $1.60 basically last August up to nearly $9, at $9, but it closed around $7.50 or $7.34. It seems a little outlandish. So I'm taking a little bit of longer term horizon on this on the short side. I wanted to pan this out to a monthly chart. So this has been trading since like 2006. So even through the financial crisis, they kind of traded blah, nothing too crazy. But it's been kind of going down ever since. Had that pop up in 15 into 16, and then went back down to 17 and kind of been going down ever since. I think, and my conclusion is that I think we're going to maybe see $10, maybe $11, but we won't see much more than that. I really, this is where I'm going to start building my overall short position into this. So I'm going to do this previous high to low here. So this is the Fibonacci retracement. We're looking at the 50% retracement here from the last previous swing high. That was basically in the summer of 15, and then we're looking to the low of September, October of last year. So I'm looking at a potential climb up here, potentially. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. I just need to be very at ease and play with what the chart gives me, not what my emotions tell me. And then I want to put an alert here if it gets below the $5.15. So these are just my parameters I'm putting out there right now. So this is how I build my charts and how to kind of build my game plan. Let's go here. I want to go further out on this chart here, and you start seeing some lines kind of leveling off here. So this is a huge gap up. This can easily come back and close this gap like we talked about before. I can see these easily coming back down to the 200, which is the $5 marker. And then we're going to look at the options chain once we're done looking at the overall trading potentials here. So again, I'm looking for a high between like 950 all the way to 1145. I know that's a super broad range, but that's what the chart is kind of giving me. There is quite a few overhead resistance, and then I wouldn't say the max, but if it hits the $13, $14, that is a super lucrative spot for me, in my opinion, to get even longer short. Looking at the I want to look at this chart down here. Sorry, I want to go to the standard deviations here. So the standard deviation here on the weekly, once it kind of breaks out of the 3 deviation channel, usually with one huge jolt, it kind of starts trending lower, trying to come back to the yellow line. So once the yellow line kind of catches up, it kind of slowly gets back to it. So that's where the $5 price I'm kind of looking at for potentially can come back to, and then potentially have another kick higher from that point on. So looking at maybe it selling off the next 2 or 3 days if oil starts rising, and then it kind of rebounding slightly up, maybe testing the $9.50 to $10, and then it's going to come crashing down. So this is just my game plan. Again, anything can happen, anything can change, but overall that is what I am placing my parameters on. Looking at if it continues going higher, I have to be super careful on what puts I buy and what I do to adjust my positioning without blowing my account, kind of thing like this. So I'm not going to be risking a Wall Street bet style of 10% or even 5% of the account to even place these bets. So this is something that I'm just kind of speculating on completely. There is just so much momentum in this stock right now due to everyone just trying to buy into this. As you can see here again, the volume, the past 2 days trading well over 150 million shares. Whew, that's a lot of people. And then you see a lot of people on the internet, Reddit, Facebook, all the people on whatever chats pumping this up. Like, I really do feel like this is going to be once the air comes out of this, it's going to come falling down. And it's just going to be a very consistent trying to find the right time to get in on the options. So we can go ahead and look at the options chains, and there's not that much out there. They have May, June, July, and October. That's it right now. I want to look at some trading statistics today. So this is basically how many calls were traded and how many puts were traded, and what the total return was on each end. It's not really what I'm more or less looking at. I wanted to look at some time and sales stuff. So if you can see here, there is quite a few trades here on the delta of call side and the put side. So this individual basically put it out a trade of the 3,000. This is on October 20 call, and then the put. So this is going to be an options trade of basically kind of making a strangle, I believe it's called, or where they're kind of seeing on which way it dictates and where it goes. But then you can see some other smaller quantity trades here, 20 contracts here, the $10 call here, with the delta of 45% chance here. And then if we start scrolling down, I think it's towards the end of the page. Where is the... No, it's not there. Normally I had a skew. No. I should have said the... Okay, yeah, this is the biggest trade for today. So someone, doesn't make sense from the time frame here, but someone bought the 10 call and then sold the 10 call for a pretty nice gain. It looks like nearly a double. Very interesting. The times don't add up there, but that doesn't honestly look at to what my analysis goes into. So again, I want to get as much time on this as much as possible because this could play out through the summer potentially. So the put side that I'm looking at is at the $4 or the $5 in October right now, and maybe nibbling on something very small, just in like 52 days out in June here. Basically looking at maybe anywhere between the $5 and the $4 as well. Again, this is going to be a very speculative trade. This is again, my opinion. This is just not any financial advice for anyone out there. This is just my analysis of a potential. Once this balloon pops, it's going to come crashing down, and once the air gets deflated out of there. But the thing is it's going to be a very key indicator on when to do these puts. Because if the market keeps on going higher, those puts are going to go to zero, and once those puts go to zero, they're going to have a harder time to get back up to any kind of profitability. And I don't like to lose money. I don't think anyone does, so I'm going to have to be super strict and let the chart kind of tell me on what it's going to do. Again, just some key takeaways. I think that if it continues pushing out of the 3 deviation channel here, looking for the high and maybe a potential look at if things are starting to stall around the $9.58, and then if it has the momentum and steam power to kick up to 11.45, this will be potentially where I start adding the longer dated puts, and maybe adding in the short dated puts, just maybe 1 or 2 contracts as a starter position. Guys, if you have any comments, questions down below, please leave them and I'll try to get to them and answer them the best way possible. Again, this is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.